opening statement here. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you. What a game, my goodness. We did enough in the end. The Wolfpack were terrific. They continued to fight. They made great adjustments. They sped the game up. I thought we did a great job of controlling tempo, which is the biggest key to the game. Thought it might put us, if we played well enough, in a position to have some success, both offensively and defensively. And they, I don't know, 12, 14 minutes left in the game, somewhere in that neighborhood. Anxious to watch it. They did a great job of changing their defense, pressed us in both the half court and the full court, and sped us up a little bit. And they got downhill in transition offense. And now we know firsthand. We saw it live, and up close, why this team's won so many games the last couple of years. It was a big win for us. Nevada is terrific, and we did enough down the stretch, led by these two seniors, had enough poise and toughness. A few possessions there late where it could have got away from us. I mean, we could have lost all poise. We lost a little bit of poise at times, but did enough, made some huge plays down the stretch to obviously survive in advance.
This time we'll take questions for student athletes. Please raise your hand, and we'll get a microphone holder over to you. Front row on left side.
Jalen, you guys held Caleb to 5 of 22 shooting. What did you guys do defensively to make him so inefficient tonight?
We just tried to slow him down in transition. Both the Martin brothers are really good in transition. And him playing more in the half court, I feel like we were able to play more team defense on him. Obviously, both the Martin brothers are really good. So we're just trying to slow him down in transition and make him take tough contested shots all night.
Other questions for our student athletes? Left side.
Chris Quire, Orlando Sentinel. Corvarius, what do you think happened in those last 15 minutes that it almost got away from you guys, and how did you feel like you were able to be part of the turnaround?
I feel like we kind of regressed a little bit, kind of like how we were playing earlier in the season, like, watching the clock a little bit. Like, we did have a significant lead, and I feel like we got a little too casual. So, I was trying to, same along with J-Hud, kind of like remind the team that it was far from over. We had to stay locked in, kind of in the moment, and that way we was like staying together. We eventually dug ourselves out and could do enough to finish the game.
Left side, second row.
Chris Murray, Nevada Sportsnet. To Jalen, obviously Nevada made a couple of huge second-half comebacks in last year's NCAA tournament. They made a run at you guys. What do you think was able to stem that tide and not let them push ahead like they were able to do in a couple games last year in this tournament?
It was really just a team effort. I feel like during that 10-minute stretch, like I would say probably 6 or 7 minutes of it, they were kind of controlling the tempo, and they were able to speed us up, and we were playing like uncontrollably fast, and we were making jump passes, which are not allowed in the program. So that kind of stemmed their surge, and we kind of played a little bit out of character. But a point in time, probably like 3 or 4 minutes left in the game, we were able to snap back and kind of get into our rhythm, and we were also in the bonus too, and so they were starting to foul a little bit. So it helped us get to the free throw line, stop the clock, make some shots, and then we were able to set our defense as well. And we ran a little bit of 13 at them, which is a zone, which kind of disrupted them. They were trying to shoot it really fast, so us playing the 13 kind of slowed the clock down as well. So it was good for us.
Any other questions for student athletes? If not, guys, you can go back to the locker room. Thank you very much. Congratulations. We'll take questions for the head coach right now. Please raise your hand, and we're going to start on the aisle on the left side in the back.
Coach, we'll start with what Jalen just talked about, switch to the 1-3-1. Had you guys seen anything late? Had you guys seen anything on tape that decided off what was going to be close? We'd break that out, or what? Just maybe describe what you did to implement that switch late, because it really threw him off.
Yeah, sure. What we saw on tape was just how dynamic they are offensively, and you've got a little bit of time here where you want to sharpen all your tools, if you will, leading into the NCAA tournament, of course. And we worked on 3 or 4 different zones this week in preparation, just knowing that, again, we want to be able to throw everything at them. And we had decided to run our 13 much earlier than that, but we had to score to get in it. and we just couldn't score. And I had to remind, I've got a great staff, and actually one of them had suggested it early, and then the other couple guys kept saying, well, we got to get in 13, and we had to remind each other, well, we got to score. And they did a great job of speeding us up. They made us play a little bit faster, and if we had just been able to convert one of those floaters, contested layups, one of those, and they're great because they've got great length, and obviously you're not going to get many open looks against them, but we had a couple that rolled around the rim there, which might have been able to help us settle in a little bit and be able to, again, change defenses on them. But their run was fantastic. I mean, their effort in the second half, the way that they played, they were terrific. And I think that the average viewer would probably attest most of it to their offense, but they were out in transition because they were getting stops. They were playing with crazy amount of energy, running and jumping, both in the half court and the full court, and it was a great adjustment. And obviously, again, we did just enough. We were very fortunate to hold on.
Right side.
David Eichholt, 24/7 Sports. Coach, you guys for the first 10 minutes were getting out-rebounded 10-2, but then the next 10 minutes you out-rebounded them 12-2. How'd you kind of change the intensity for you guys in terms of energy, effort, and just getting after the 50-50 balls? Yeah,
I'm not sure that we made a big adjustment there. First media, I remember talking to our guys, and they talked. Our seniors have taken pretty good ownership here, especially late in the season, led by Kavarius and Jalen as well here lately. Understanding that we were getting beat up on the glass a little bit, led by Jordan Caroline, who he's got to be as good offensive rebounder as we've played all year. He is just a handful. Some of it is the ball bouncing to you a little bit, but I also thought that once the ball went in for us a few times, we settled in, and sometimes that can happen for you. You play with a little bit more pep in your step, with a lead, when you're in a decent flow, getting some stops and getting some scores.
A question on the left side.
Coach, did you feel like this was a new level of a resolve that your team showed down the stretch? I mean, they did make it interesting, but they got within 2, and you guys still held them off.
Yeah, no, I would say similar. We've had playing in the SEC and then playing the non-conference schedule that we played, it seems like we've had, I'm just guessing off the top of my head, 15 games like that where we're late in a game. It's a 1-2 possession game within a couple minutes, whether you're up or down. And we had a stretch in the middle of the season where we found ways to lose those games. Continued to play really hard and lost some poise, lost a little composure at times. And then we went on a stretch where we won some of those games. And then we had the home game against LSU where, we lost a heartbreaker. And then we were able to win a heartbreaker against LSU in the SEC tournament, then lose a heartbreaker to Auburn. So we've been here in these type situations a bunch. This one may be a little bit more unique in that you're up big and they make that type of a run. But you used the word resolve, I believe. This team has been pretty good in that category and gotten better throughout the year. This team early in the year I thought had a little bit of toughness. I think this team now possesses a lot of toughness, and mentally we've probably made a bigger improvement than the physical level of toughness in that. I think it's more important to our seniors here late in the year, and our freshmen have grown up a lot.
We're under 5 minutes in this session. We have 2 questions on the left side.
Chris Murray, Nevada Sportsnet. You're going against Jordan Caroline and Caleb Martin, 2 All-American candidates, and you hold them to 9 turnovers to 7 made field goals. Why were you so effective limiting those 2 really talented players?
We've been really good defensively all year. We really have. I'm looking at their offensive numbers, and we've had a lot of performances like that. This team, we've just struggled to score at times. I think slowing the tempo helped us a lot, because if they lived in transition offense the whole game, of course, we would have been in trouble. They're so electric playing downhill. Jalen said it, it was a team effort. By setting our half-court defense, it gave us a better chance to guard these guys. Our guys have had active hands. Our guys have gotten more competitive throughout the year. I thought we contested a lot of shots, but I also thought they missed a few for us, especially late in the game. I thought that both of the Martin twins had a few open looks that, sometimes it's a make or miss game, and we were fortunate that they did. Beyond that, I don't know that we did anything really special. I would say probably more than anything, it came with a preparation and level of respect that was necessary to guard these guys. Our guys, when you watch film on these guys and you show personnel, our guys were like, wow. They knew that we had our hands full. They knew that we'd have to guard at a really high level to have success tonight.
We have a final question on the left side there.
Coach Julio Rousseau of SportsTownChicago.com. 3:44 mark of the game, final media timeout. Can you describe what the huddle was like and how proud of you of your guys to be able to close out the game after that timeout? They brought it back to within 2, and you guys were able to finish it out. Just describe the huddle and how proud of your guys for finishing it.
Yeah, really proud. I mean, we looked a little disconnected there for about 6 or 7 minutes. When the run started, we looked like we could stymie it and we'd be fine. All of a sudden, they cut it to maybe 10, and we looked a little different. But when it was in single digits there for a while, really until past that's probably the mark there, probably the last media. I didn't like the body language. I was very concerned with our level of, we talked about toughness and focus. I thought we were just watching the clock, and hoping a little bit, and we'd been there early in the year. I don't know what the score was at the last media, but I know we got a couple stops there and converted a little bit, whether it be a field goal or 2. I don't quite remember, but I know we converted some there at the foul line late that allowed us to change defenses. And then, I thought that we did a pretty good job in our zone late in the game.
Congratulations. That'll conclude our press conference. The Florida locker room will be open for an additional 15 minutes. We'll have Florida student athletes and coaches tomorrow, starting at 3:10.